Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line. Our next available operator will be with you shortly. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We can shut that off. I'm just kidding. We can shut that off. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. It is not like super ridiculously warm in here today, so that's good. So, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing well? Did you guys just real quick, real space thing, real quick before we start up? What are we on? Part 29 for the crew cab charger? Part 29. The Axiom docking was this morning, and I unfortunately had to take the dog for a walk. Titan was going stir crazy because he it's funny because he doesn't like being in the hot. Like, we tried to take him for a walk when it was hot over the last couple of days, so just go right back inside. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. It's too hot. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I had to go do that, right? And yeah, I missed the docking. The dog he wouldn't be quiet, so want to take Titan for a walk. But anyway, did you guys see the new telemetry that SpaceX has? Take a look. They have a dragon icon here that shows which thrusters are firing, which is really, really cool. Titan is smarter than EJ writes this down. Yep. Dog's pretty smart. That's really cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that later. But yeah, that's pretty neat. Anyway, on to cars. We got to finish what we were working on yesterday. I got to finish cleaning up the frame rails with the grinder so we can start prepping for the leaf spring perch to be in so we can finish at least one of these damn frame rails. They're really, yeah, that took a lot more time than I thought. I thought that patching the frame rails would be quicker. My inexperience in metal fabrication is showing here. Perhaps if I was better at that, we would have gotten it done quicker. But yeah, I would at least want to try to get one done. Go back to fixing the other side, right? Anyway, how are you guys doing? Tessa, what's going on? Cheer me up. Tell me what you thought of Cleater's vid. I retract my previous statement, dude. I thought that like listening to it yesterday at the end of the stream while playing Summer Car, I thought it was just like some small gas turbine or something. No. It's a T50, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. But T50s don't make a lot of horsepower, Tessa. They only make 300 horse. That's like a weak helicopter engine. That's designed for a small helicopter. You need like the T50 only makes 330 horse, right? The motor that I was talking to you about, a Lycoming T53, T53s make a little bit more power. That is a gas turbine from a Huey and a Cobra and a bunch of other things. That makes a lot more power. Like out of the box, it makes 700. And then if you get a newer one, it makes 1800 horse. That's the kind of turbine I would want. The T50 is almost a bolt-in for a car. And a T53 wouldn't be. They're about the same size, dude, believe it or not. The T53 is not a big engine. It's pretty small. And that one has this thing on it. I forget what that thing is. The gas turbine's over here. That it has this oh no. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it has that freaking thing. The compressor and everything in the turbines over here. But either way, yeah, whatever. Did you think frame rails would be this bad? Dean, I knew the car was rusty. I knew this was going to be a challenge. I didn't think it would be this bad. No, I didn't think it'd be this bad, but I'm going to see it through. I mean, honestly, dude, honestly at this point I would have just replaced, like, if I had started the Coronet now, knowing what I know, I would have just replaced the frame rails. I would have just bought new ones. The reason why is, like, it's just my inexperience as a seam welder, like doing a seam weld like that and welding upside down and welding sideways and forward and back. It's showing. And, like, don't get me wrong, the welds that we're doing are fine. Like, they're fine. I'd like to think that, if I was doing something like blatantly wrong, you guys would probably let me know. And you have, like, in case I do screw something up, and I do. So these welds are fine. It's just my inexperience in doing seam welds is showing. Like, I need more practice doing that, especially at weird angles. But I mean, whatever, it's fine. And just grinding and welding and grinding and welding and grinding and welding and basically treating welds like Bondo, where you have to put it on, sand it down, or grind it down, and then put it on again, grind it down to get a nice flush surface. I mean, that works. It's a way to do things, but I'm pretty sure that that's the wrong way to do things. I mean, it's not the wrong way. It's just another way. That's not the quickest way. The quickest way would have been just welding new frame rails in. And I'm fairly confident that I probably could have got that right at this point in time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have just. I was afraid to do it because I was like, oh, I won't get the jig right. I can't, we won't get anything squared. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be squared right. The car will never go down the road correctly. No, not really. What we could have done is just use one of the frame rails as a datum for the other frame rail, right? I didn't think about this. We could have replaced the one that was really bad, right? The driver's side. Replace that one first. Use the other one as a datum to make sure to measure against it. Zap that one in, and now that we know that that one's perfect, then go replace the other one, right? Like, that would be the right way to do that. And then the leaf spring perches and everything else would have basically just fallen into place. Yeah. So, like, did I think it would be this bad? No. What the right move would have been to replace that. And to be fair, people in chat did say that. There was people that were like, dude, just replace them. And I was like, no, I'm not sure I can. And the reality is that if you can do the seam welds, the type of seam welding that we're doing, if you can do that, like I repaired a frame rail by basically just lapping seam welds on top of each other. With backing with the 1/8 inch plate. That frame rail is way stronger than it needs to be now. The driver's side frame rail is super strong. That's not going anywhere. Right? Like, it's not. So, that's a way to do it. That's a tedious way to do it, but if you don't want to replace the frame rails, that's a way to go. And don't get me wrong, like, can't see me, you're saying hindsight is 2020. Don't, not dwelling on it. No. I'm not dwelling on it. It's a learning experience. If I get another B body in the future, I'm just replacing the frame rails. I know how to do that. We can do that. Hopefully by that time I can get a jig and make it even easier. Tolerance is involved. Yeah, once again, 1/4 inch tolerance. We could have done that. I could have gotten that right. It's just my inexperience showed at the time. The next one will do even better. But, this car, I said when we first did this project, this is a project to learn. Don't get me wrong, I don't want it to be unsafe going down the road, but it's a way to learn. And that's what we're doing. And it gets me practice doing actual seam welds for when if I need to do that in the future. Think of it as a learning experience. Dude, Dean, if you go back to part 1 of this series, that's basically what I said. I know this car is too far gone. I want to figure out what too far gone actually means. Turns out there's really no such thing as too far gone. You could repair anything, right? It's not something I didn't know, but I wanted the experience in this matter. Because everybody says, oh, that's too far gone. It'll take too much time. But does anybody actually have the hands-on experience trying to actually repair a car that's too far gone? No. Now I have that experience. I know what something that, like, I know what it would take to fix a car that's too far gone. And that's kind of the intention here. The intention is that, you know, we're not walking into a 69 Charger for short money. That's not a thing. We could walk into a 69 Charger that's too far gone for short money. See where I'm going with this? That was kind of the point. A full one, that'll really stand up. Yeah. Anyway, Tesla, yeah, that Camaro is pretty sick, dude. That work is... Cleater and his boys ain't lying. The mechanical wizardry that they got to get that thing to jive well, being in a vehicle, is actually pretty damn cool. That's aerospace. That's aerospace engineering. That's ultimately where I want to get. That's what I want to get to. I want to be able to do stuff like that. Personally, no, but my 73 Volvo 1800 looks a lot worse than your car. Yeah. So yeah, cooler temps so far. Yeah, it's 72 degrees in here instead of 89. 72 degrees at 50% humidity in the shop. That looked finished product good. Yeah, that's ultimately the level of skill that I want to get to, Tessa, to be able to build cool stuff like that. The way I see it in my mind is, and this, I understand this is a roundabout way to do this. The way I see it in my mind is that if I could make something like that, if and when I pull the trigger on getting into high-powered rocketry, we'll do it right the first time, you know? People have repaired World War II airplanes that were found in the jungle. Yeah, nothing is too far gone. You can fix whatever if you have the time and money to do it. That's the real truth. But I can't help but think that people consign cars to the junkyard or the scrap heap like too easily. Like we're getting to the point where there's not a lot of these old cars left. I mean, by a lot, I mean like out of the million that they made, like half of them are gone, right? They're not getting more plentiful. That's what I'm telling you. Like the days of finding a 69 Charger in somebody's barn is that's few and far between nowadays. When I was growing up like 20 years ago, barn finds were everywhere, like really nice cars too. Will you stream the SRB test? Yeah. Isn't it it's not, isn't it in like an hour or something, or 2 hours? June 26th, we're test firing the BOLE booster. Yeah, we got an hour. Let's go for an hour out in the shop, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. Yak is in promontory to cover. Cool. Comes to a 69 Charger, I strip bare shells with nothing more than a freaking bin number. I've seen bare shells sell for 10K. That market is insane. Ian, that is my exact reason for this car. Dude, as much as I want to say that streaming is some crazy job that's made me millions of dollars, it's not. It's just another job. Like, I'm not, streaming is a service job, whether you guys want to hear that or not. It's a service job. Like working in a restaurant. Some restaurants make millions of dollars. Other ones are just make enough to live off of. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. Like, that's fine. It's totally okay. I've liked how my career has progressed. I'm happy with it, right? And you guys have been very generous, obviously. Like, I think you give me more than I deserve, but that's another story. We're not doing that. The point is that I can't spend money on a 69 Charger. I can spend money on a 4-door. And I got time. We're good. I got plenty of time. We got the stream, right? So it makes sense for me to actually fix this car. Put $5,000 worth of panels and work into this thing. You have a really nice car. I mean, guys, this is, even though I'm doing like essentially a restoration at this point, I'm not into this very far. The budget for this car is really not more than like $5,000, maybe. Vin, entertainment. Don't forget to tip your waitress. Yep. Is this stream going to be you watching the Electron launch? Yeah, we'll cover the launches and the SRB test. Some people don't have 20, 30 years. That's the word. Yeah, right. Totally get it. That's why I have a fleet of Triumph cars along with the Volvo. There you go, man. You know, we're getting into 60s car, 1960s cars, not muscle cars, but we'll make it one. Wasn't designed to do that, but the underpinnings are the same. We can make it do that. I don't give a frick if it has 4 doors. I'm gonna have a late 60s Chrysler product to drive around. And we're the budget for this project, like even all the work that I've done to it over the years, including the sale price back then, even taking into account inflation, I'm probably in this car maybe $6,000 at best. It's just the time. Speaking of that, let's go. Let's roll. Stand by for loss of signal from the office as expected.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Okay. Hopefully no sweat drips on this today. How's the sync? Are we good? Hey Rarest, what's going on? Horrid, 1 second delay. All right, give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. Good. All right. We are A-okay, and it's not really, really warm in here. So I don't have to worry about getting heat stroke. Which, yeah, that would be preferable. All right, we're gonna basically pick up right where we left off, dudes. Are the cameras still working? Vivitar, you working? Welding cam, yep. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna pick up right where we left off. We got to get the grinder out. I did finish the welding. We did weld that up. Let me switch to the other camera. I wish the Vivitar wasn't working. Yeah, I know what you mean. So we did get all of our patches in here, and it is welded up real nice. These, you know, for just stitch welding this actually came out pretty good. It's definitely not going anywhere, that's for sure. But the problem now is that we got to get up in here. Well, it's not a problem, it's just something we got to do. Let me get the light for you guys. Where did it go? Dude, I forgot to like charge everything yesterday because, yeah, I didn't feel good and I had to go to the bathroom. I was speeding because I had to poop.
So we just got to get at all this. If you look like all up in here, we got to grind this down flat, and then we got to grind this surface, the bottom of the frame rail flange. I got to grind that flat too. Get this all nice and flush, and then I have to do some kind of, hang on, I got a piece of metal stuck in my finger already. Here we go. I got to do some work on the back of the frame rail back here. All the welding that I did kind of bent it out. It goes out a little bit. We got to try to hammer that thing more or less flat. I tried to move it with the wrench and ended up tearing the metal, which is not great. So made more work for myself, but that's okay. That's this project in a nutshell. So yeah, let's, our new patch panel that we put in though did come out really nice. We just got to get this all nice and flush, and then we got to grind this smooth, and we got to get under there, grind that out nice. Yeah, pretty good. This panel came in real good. I didn't mind doing those stitch welds. We were actually, despite the heat, we were on with the welder yesterday, which was nice. Oh, the ring. Yeah, I'll put the ring in the ox box. You put the Vigo in the art room. In the art room. Okay. Okay, ring is in the ox box. Oh man, this thing smells like a wet dog. This welding jacket smells terrible. It smells like wet dog. Please excuse the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to build it to scale or to paint it. Smells like testosterone. We did do work yesterday. You know, in hindsight, trying to work on this yesterday was a dumb idea. That was a dumb idea. You know, I didn't work on the car on Tuesday because it was way too hot. And, you know, Wednesday was pretty much the same weather. I don't really understand why I was like, yes, this is a good idea. Does Titan have a bed? What prompted that question, Pigeon? Yeah, he has a bed. He doesn't use it. He sleeps on me. I told you, shouldn't you be doing this at night? Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do, but yeah, whatever. Well, you learn. It is nice here today. It's a little bit overcast, so overcast, cloudy. I mean, it's still humid. It smells like wet, decaying plant matter outside. Wet, decaying biomass. But yeah, all right, let's but Titan's butt on your face is more comfy than some stupid bed. Yeah, that's like the one scenario where I will move him. I don't need a dog's butt in my face when I'm sleeping. I don't mind if he puts his head on me, Element, but yeah, he does try to do that. And that's like big, get away from me, you know? Hey, Couchy, what's going on? Just got back from a hike, and woo, welding time. Yep, let's do it. We actually got to get that grinding wheel going. See all that slop? We got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of that slop. But that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, I have the cutting wheel on the grinder right now. We got to switch that off and let's get the grinder the grinder on here. Okie dokie. She good. Let me get my face shield on here. I don't need metal spitting in my face. Are we going to watch the BOLE test? What do you think, Pelly Joe? Do I look like the kind of melon farmer that wouldn't watch an SRB go off? Good. I didn't think so. Got to clean this damn thing. All right. So let's, before those tests, let's get some work done. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move you guys just a smidge off to the side so I can get in here. All right. What we really need to do is get up there and in the kind of armpit of the frame rail. We got to fix that. But anyway, guys, this thing is super loud. So headphone users, 10-second warning. How's that looking? Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna lower you guys. I'm gonna lower that tripod a little bit, so you guys can actually get kind of an underside shot. See, lower you down just a little bit. The welding shield is still on there, but yeah, that should be good. Gotta really get up in the armpit there. The reason why I got to get up in here and grind this down is because when we go to attach the frame rail flange, it needs to kind of butt up against the top here, and I can't. That needs to be perfectly flush. Gotta move a little bit, gotta change position. All right, that's looking good up in there. That's looking better. I got to get these little boogers out of there. That should fit pretty well. Almost done. We've almost got this thing looking pretty damn respectable. I'm just going a little bit slower with the grinder here now because I don't want to blow through anywhere. But I don't think we will, but gotta be careful. We gotta be careful sticking the grinding wheel up in there. You don't want, if it gets caught or chipped or something, we're gonna have a bad day. Almost got it. We've almost got all the boogies out. I found a little pinhole right there, but definitely almost there. Almost there. Yeah, see, I'm trying to look like up in there. Yeah, there's a couple of boogies. I'm gonna move the light in a position where we all can see better. Negative. It didn't go in. It just impacted on the surface. might need to get at this at a different angle. Gonna need to do a little bit of this. Good. Good. Got most of those boogies out of there. Couple more. There we go. I got it. There was a chunk over there. There's a big chunk missing. All right. Good. Good. How many degrees are you trapping in your garage today? 3, at least 3. All right. I think we got most of the boogies out. I'm gonna do it on the top here. Here, I'll give you guys a good view for that. Yeah. All right, you just got to get the boogies off the top. All right. Now do the welding test. Throw it on the floor to see if the welds break. No? There's a high spot right there. I wouldn't recommend touching this normally, but my finger is fine. It's fine. That's pretty flat. All right, cool. I'm gonna once over this just to make sure it's nice and good with the sander, just the palm sander. Make sure everything's nice and level. couple of holes there, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Sick. Pretty good, man. Wait a minute. We're not exactly right. There's a high spot right there. I see it. We'll get it. There we go. It's a little bumpy right there where I did my patches, but we're okay. I think the bumps are within tolerance. The bumps are within tolerance, comrade. What's my vision for the paint job after completing the crew cab? Are you leaning towards matching the original color? I would like to paint it the B3 blue. I think these cars look really sharp. This is called light blue metallic, or B3 would be the paint code. I think they look really good. Is the camera inside a welding helmet? A welding visor mask is taped to the front of the camera to make sure that sparks don't damage the lens, and so you guys can see the weld. That's why it looks like the Matrix. Color shifting paint job would be an incredible choice. I like the blue. It doesn't look like much right now because this is 56-year-old paint that has not been maintained. But this car with the chrome, with the stainless and the chrome, plus that shining blue, looks really nice. Desync again? That quickly? Man, we didn't get very far now, did we? I'm not seeing desync on my end. Okay. Hey, Raiden, what's going on, buddy? So yeah, Visionary, I like the blue. I think this blue, when it's buffed out, it looks real sharp. Looks really good. Yeah. I'm probably not going to paint it anytime soon. My goal right now, like this is our milestone, is to just get the car running and driving. Get the car back to being a good shell. We'll put the rust protection in where we want, but I'll drive around with this paint job for a little while. Probably paint it like next year or something. Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this. Patina for the win. Yeah, Sean, Patina's cool. I like it. The distressed look, though, like, okay, all right, I don't mind the distressed look. The patina, yeah, that's all cool. This car has some pretty cool patina on it, right? It's pretty neat. My thing is, dude, if this shell was intact, if it didn't have any rust on it, I would put a clear coat on this, call it a day. But, dude, we're basically doing a resto at this point. I'm restoring the stupid thing, right? Like, new trunk pan. We heavily repaired the frame rails to the point where they're not even like, we ship a Theseus to the frame rails, for Christ's sake, right? Like, leaf spring perches, rear cross member extensions, trunk. This is going to need new quarters when it's done. It's going to need new rockers. It's basically a different car, right? I don't want to put all that effort in to not paint it, right? Like, that's my thing. If this was just a car that we picked up for short money and the shell was good, I'd throw a clear coat on it and call it a day. But because I'm putting so much time into this, I want it to be nice. Eventually, right? Eventually. Right now, Yeah. I mean, when we get the shell back together, shell's nice and solid, you know, I wouldn't mind driving it around with patina. That doesn't bother me. Now, once again, the reason why is because I want to do all the work to the car. The last thing you do with a restoration is paint it. That's the last thing, right? And since I'm not doing a full frame off, right? Like, I mean, we kind of are, but you know what I mean? Like, we're not doing a full rotisserie restoration with this thing, at least right now. Like, we still have other work to do. We're going to upgrade the brakes. We're going to upgrade the suspension eventually. We're going to upgrade the rear end. We're going to upgrade, you know, the radiator. We're going to do a bunch of work. We're going to put a different engine. I want to put the 5.7 Hemi in, right? Because we're doing all that, I don't want to have the car painted and then worry about scratching the paint when we're doing all this work on it. So it will stay like this for the time being. I'll probably clear coat patina it for a little while. Like, we'll get some shine juice. We'll get Vice Grip shine juice, and we'll just do that for now. For now. I do want to get it painted, though, eventually. But is the car male or female? And what is his or her government name? I don't know. It's a car. I don't know. I don't really assign genders to my car. Mr. Yak is on the BOLE stream. Cool. Mike, what's going on? T-storms this AM after 5 days in the 90s. Woohoo! Yeah, the rain. Yeah. It's always a she. I don't know. I don't really think about it like that. You know, like the General Lee is a dude, right? But, you know, 67 GT500 is Eleanor, right? So that's a girl. Like, I don't know. I don't really think about it that way. That's cool. I don't have any problems with it. Like, I don't know. It's just the crew cab Charger. I don't think about cars like that. I don't know. I never really put too much thought into it. I know, well, then again, my 59 that's a guy. That's a boy. The 59's name is Freb, because I delivered pizzas in it. Freb can deliver pizzas like nobody's business. That's Freb. F-R-E-B, right? I don't know. I guess with time, maybe we'll figure it out. The GT500. She gives you trouble, so it's a she. Actually, this car has not put up a fight, to be honest, Techno. Dick. It hasn't put up a fight, to be honest with you. Like, anytime I've tried to do something, it hasn't been overtly hard to do. I mean, I even got one of the old leaf spring shackles off intact. That thing hasn't been touched in 56 years. You know? I got one of those things out intact. The other one, I was not patient enough to get it out in one thing, but it's got a cop motor, 440 cubic inch plant, cop tires, cop suspension, cop shocks, a model made before catalytic converter, so it'll run good on regular gas. It is blue. You almost fainted yesterday. Yeah. Are you thinking of renting out the truck to a small family at some point? The square footage is there. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. No, not with my 59. The 59's a single cab short box, dude. It's shorter than this thing. This thing, the trunk is a freaking apartment, though, Sean, right? Like, you could literally live in there. Anyway, all right. Let's check for fitment. And are you sure? You okay? You sure? Because you just went through a wall. So what do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what? Hey, Geek, I did say this yesterday. I will say it again. My cigarette lighter, the cigarette lighter in this car actually works. So, you know. Ooh, still a high spot right there. I stopped for a second because we were starting to put a lot of heat in. There's still a high spot right there. I got to get it out. There we go. Yeah. That should be good enough for the frame rails to accept it. And it looks like all the welds that we did were pretty damn good. It is, you know, especially with the patches that we put in. Very nice. Pretty happy with that. All right, let's sand it over, give it a nice finishing Cool. Yeah, still a little bumpy. I might want to hammer and dolly this thing a little bit just to get it nice and square. But then again, a couple of waves here and there isn't going to hurt anything, especially if we coat it with steel it. I miss a few streams. Is this the piece you made yourself and then welded on? At the back, Raiden, yes. Traded the Bluesmobile for this? No, for a microphone. All right, I can see that. So one of the first things that we did was plate this, and then I put this piece on. So from here back, the frame rail is completely replaced. We ended up replacing a lot of parts here, Raiden, on this side at least. Yeah, I actually got to go on this on the side here. Yeah, basically all here is replaced. That's the patch. We replaced some of the flange from about here to there. That's all been replaced. Yeah, we replaced a lot of this. All right, I think the sander is not good enough to get at some of this stuff up here. And I definitely have some seams here and there. I should probably hit this with the flapper disc, but we don't want to go hard on this. We don't want to hit it too hard with the flapper. Because, yeah, you don't want to blow through the metal at all. But this is kind of uneven from the grinding wheel. So I'm just going to go over it real quick with that flapper. And just give it a quick once over. Let me get my face mask out. Blend it with the flap. That's basically what I'm going to do, geek. Yeah. Okay, face shield is on, hearing protection. Hey, headphone users, again, this thing is super loud. Look, it looks good, all new and shiny. Yep. Yep. See these little like ripples in it? You can see them, right? Like all up in here. I'm just going to smooth that out with a flap disc. Trying to smooth out all those ripples that we left with the grinding wheel. Looks like there's just a couple of, there's a couple of low points. Now the primer won't stick. I know. Give me a second. And it looks like there's a high spot up here. I'll go back over it with the sanding wheel in a second. There we go. That looks way better. Let's hit it with the sander again. Now there's still some spots around the seams where it's a little bumpy, but the leaf spring perch is going to be here. So as long as there's no pinholes, I'm okay with this. We should just coat this with etching primer and with the steel and we'll be fine. There we go. Don't make it too thin. It's the TISM. It really is. I learned how to do Bondo work, and for whatever reason, my mind is assigning welding to this. Yeah, as long as there's no pinholes, I don't care. I just got to keep telling myself that, or I'm going to sit here with the welder and try to patch everything. All right. I should probably, hang on, I got a flap disc up in here. Give me one sec. Aquamori, what's up? This is not how you use a flap disc. Alright, that's enough. I really can't take off anymore, so that's gonna have to do. Let's check for fitment. Let's check the leaf spring perch, see if it does it. Not going to use lead filler? No, I got a welder. Why would I use lead filler? I mean, that's old school. That's old school for Bondo work. I'm welding right now. I don't know how to braze stuff, dude. That's not really my area of expertise. Not that any of this is, but fellas, that actually fits pretty friggin' good. It's actually not bad. Here. You've been Vivitard. Get Vivitard, nerd. See this? Sometimes these tabs get a little bent in shipping and you gotta finagle them a little bit to get it right. I'm satisfied with this. This is pretty good. All right. Now that I'm good with the fitment for this, what we need to do is I need to get the EDP off, and we got to drill some holes in this so we could plug weld it. I'm going to drill holes in the frame rail, believe it or not, through the nice stuff that we just put in. I'm going to drill a couple of holes. The 2 holes in the front are already there, but I got to drill 2 more holes, and we'll plug weld to this flange right here. We'll do 2 plug welds there, 2 plug welds there, 1 there, 2 there, 1 here, and 1 there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if we're going to plug weld to this, I need to make sure that, see the black paint, the electro-coated primer that this comes in, I have to make sure that that's not conductive. You can't weld through this, so you won't get a good weld. So I got to sand this down, and I got to hit it with steel it. Hitting it with steel it, you know, ideally I'd want this bare metal, but once it's tacked in there, I'm not going to be able to get at this. So I'm going to coat these flanges, 1 and 2, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 actually. I'm going to coat them in steel it, like just this part, this part, this part, this part. This one we're going to plug weld through. So we should probably get the bottom of these tabs just to make sure. Actually, we probably don't need to. We probably just drill the holes like what we did with the other one. So we're going to need to sand some of this paint off here. So that's what I'll do. That's why you've been Vivitard, because that's a good camera to do it. So actually what we should do is paint the frame rail while we're prepping this piece. Let's hit it with the primer and go from there. Let me get my steel it out. Steel it is weld through primer. It's weld through primer, and yeah, you put it on unprotected metal that you're not going to be able to get at, and even though it is primer, it'll protect it. I saw you had back pain a few days ago. Susan, I had to hang upside down on an inversion table basically all weekend, and whatever I did when I was moving around, I knocked whatever I did back there. I have no back pain. So either I damaged it to the point where the nerves are like destroyed and I can't feel the pain or anything, or I actually knocked it back into alignment. I can move just fine now. Like, if I tried to do that a week ago, like put my foot up there, I would have died. So basically a win-win. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but yeah, we should drill those holes first. That's a good idea. We got to drill the holes, and then we got to prep the surface. And then I do believe I need to get at the bottom with the grinder because some of the residue from the original spot welds are still there, where the original leaf spring perch was on there. So don't push yourself too hard now. I learned the hard way yesterday that I will not make that mistake again. So I just kind of have to get at the bottom here and just kind of flap down where the leaf spring perch mounts. Okay, now we got to do that up here. Okay, now I'm gonna hit those with the sander, get them to etch so we can put the primer on. It helps if you etch the metal. For the primer to adhere. There we go. Okay. All right, now what I got to do is we got to drill 2 holes there for the thing to line up. There are holes on the back of the frame rail here where the original spot welder would have gone through. I'm just going to use those with the drill, and we will drill 2 holes right through that. Not to interrupt, but we're going to cover BLE. It looks like it's at 1 p.m. Yes, if it's at 1:30, we'll switch back into the shop at 1, or switch out of the shop at 1. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, I want to get this at least mocked up before that. Sorry, don't worry about it, Fluffy. It's all good. What's BOLE? Booster Obsolescence and Life Extension Program. Carbon Composite SRB Test. 5-segment SLS Composite SRB Test from Northrop Grumman. Yeah, we will cover that. That's going to be pretty sick, considering the last time they tested one of these, it exploded. That was pretty fun. We'll cover it again. Hopefully it doesn't pop. Where the heck is... Oh boy. I was going to say, where the heck is the drill bit that I was using to drill the spots? Oh, there it is. I found it. Funny, I used it on the drill press to drill the holes. That's weird, right? It's funny how that works. Okay. Tightening it on the chuck. Where's my tap magic? There's the tap magic. Okay. So, tap magic is cutting fluid. I use it to keep the, sorry, I'm undoing cables and my brain just went scrambled for a second. I use it to keep the drill bit cool so you don't break it. You introduce too much heat into the bit, it'll get mad at you and break. Okay. Really, Sun Temple, nice. That's the Vulcan Sim SRM, right? No, SLS. That was the Omega booster that popped and not BOLE. What do you think the BOLE is? Why do you think Northrop Grumman was developing, Omega? And where do you think, actually, let me rephrase that, dude. Where do you think Northrop Grumman got the money to finance Omega? Actually, that's not the right way to say any of that. So here's what happened. Northrop Grumman proposed the Omega for the National Security Space Launch Missions, NSSL. They proposed it for that, right? Right? They got a $500 million contract, Phase 1, NSSL, National Security Space Launch Phase 1 Launch Services Agreement. They got $500 million to develop carbon composite SRBs, right? They didn't get a contract from the Space Force, so they canceled the Omega program. And then right after that, they got the contract for BOLE, Booster Obsolescence and Life Expectancy, Carbon Composite Casing SRBs, which are the same thing as Omega. They're the same thing. So they basically milked the Space Force for $500 million to make the BOLE boosters from NASA and pocketed the profits. Pretty good business move if you ask me. So, you know, that test was for Omega, sure, and it was only a 2-segment booster. But Omega and BOLE are the same thing, same boosters. It's the same parts. Don't forget to drink. Only on Fridays. No, I get it. I'll get a thing of water. Does that make sense, dude? So yeah, some pretty smart move by Northrop Grumman. What wasn't smart in my mind, and I guess this is hindsight 2020, is stopping Omega development, getting rid of Omega development for Antares. They didn't get the Omega contract, so they canceled that rocket, which was way more capable than Antares, and much more, could potentially be much more profitable in a launch market for future NSSL contracts. They canceled that completely and said, no, we'll go with Antares. We'll just keep flying Antares 230 plus. That was in 2020. You know, Antares 230 plus, the rocket with a Ukrainian first stage and Russian rocket engines in the first stage as well. Whoops. I said that was a dumb idea, sticking with Antares at the time, and my reasoning for that at the time was, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you not want a more capable launch vehicle that basically the Air Force already paid for? Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Sticking with Antares is ridiculous. That is just hindering your launch capability and potentially closing the door on profits over the next 10 years big time. And they should have stuck with Omega, right? Because there's no way that NSSL wasn't going to get bigger. I said that was a stupid idea. And that was a profit bottom dollar decision from Northrop Grumman. And you know, once again, it's their company, whatever. They probably know more about this than I do, right? But also at the same time, 2 years later, guess what? The supply chain for your motors and the supply chain for your first stage for Antares went kaput. So then they ended up having to spend more money by basically hiring Firefly to make those parts for them instead. And that's how we got MLV, the Eclipse rocket. If Northrop Grumman had just followed through with making Omega, right, they wouldn't have had to have paid Firefly to do it. And it's very clear that from the Lane 1, Lane 2, and Lane 3 NSSL contract, so NSSL Phase 3, Lane 1, 2, and 3, that there's a lot of Department of Defense money to go around. So, yeah, kind of a short-sighted decision from Northrop Grumman that did come back to bite them, considering Omega was already engineered and the launch pad was already being built. The next ULA Vulcan mission, well, they're stacking a Vulcan right now. They're stacking a Vulcan right now for the next mission off Pad 41 is a national security mission, if I'm remembering right. Actually, it's a Space Force mission, to be very technical. It's SF-106, I think, the USSF-106, I think is the name of that mission. But anyway, I don't know. What do I know, dude? Usually, building a bigger rocket is usually better. But there's been a few times in history where it wasn't. Oh no.
What happens when the moon's hair gets too long? Eclipse it.
I'm getting back to work. Hey, Space Pope, how are you? No, Raph, thank you, I guess. Boo. You suck. All right. So I need to get in here to get at the drill because we need to drill 2 holes here and here. But I have basically the marks for them, but I need to punch. We need to punch them. You know, give us this or we'll punch you. All right, here. You know what? I can give you guys a better view. All right, so we got to drill 2 holes through there. Give us this day our daily weld, and forgive our grinding gore. All right, get the punch out. So when you're drilling holes, dudes, you have to, it's good to give the drill bit kind of a guide hole to go off of. Okay. So I have this thing, it's called a punch. It's just basically a sharp metal pointy thing. So what we're gonna do is center that, because there's holes right here for the spot welder, for the original spot welder. And then I'm gonna need a hammer that I forgot to get. It's just over there. And then we'll hammer right through. Or I might be able to just, no, that's not gonna work. We'll get the brass hammer. Boop, boop, boop. That funky whammer. Hang on, we really gotta. Okay. There we go. I got a good punch mark there. And then. Now it wasn't centered, idiot. Okay. That gave us a good mark. I'm gonna have to hit this one more time. There's the centering bit, right? There we go. There we go. I got a good mark for that thing to pick up on. So now that there's a little indentation there, it's going to be easier for the drill bit to pick up on that and go. Ah, man, I see a pinhole right there. How did I not get that on here? All right, well, whatever. All right, give me my light. Tap magic. That's one. And two. There we go. Done. Yeah, I noticed there's a little pinhole right there. I can see it from the back side. I'll zap that in. I don't care how the back of this looks. But the front side, I mean, I technically don't care how the front looks either. But this needs to be flat so we can put this on there. Anyway, all right. You guys are gonna go back around over here. Hang on, cord's tangled. See the 2 holes right there and there. We're going to need to file these. See them? There's 2 holes there, and then there's 2 right here. Oh, you guys can't see that. See? And we will plug weld through. And these are kind of elevated a little bit, and this is kind of wavy. I might want to just hammer this out and smooth it, but you know, if it's covered in steel and the flange plate is covered in steel and then we plug back through, I ain't gonna worry about it. Should be okay. All right, so I just want to make sure. It's in my shirt and it's itchy. Give me one moment. Just gotta shake this out outside real quick. Okay, I'm back. Why not get the parts and do it properly, trying to cover it up? What? Susan, what parts are you referring to? Like, I don't understand what that means. What parts? If I want to replace this part, you're taking the entire car apart. I don't want to do that. That probably would have been easier in hindsight, but we're like 90% of the way through this already, so let's just roll with it. But yeah, I got a bunch of parts to replace this. But there's some parts that I require basically taking the entire car apart, you know? I don't want to do that. I mean, I probably could have replaced the frame rail at this point. I was talking about this earlier. I probably could have, probably should have. But I didn't think I could do it. But after doing all this, yeah, no, I could have gotten that done. Whatever. Next car we restore, I'll do that. Those ones are all set. All right, now where's my other file? Where's my flat file? There it is. Trying to get rid of the burr. There we go. Cool. But yeah, like I could have replaced this part, but probably should have at this point. But like I said, we're pretty much done with this. This part is about to be brand new. Oh yeah. One thing I want to do is for these tabs, the tabs that I put on the frame rail flange, if you look at them from the top down, right, they're all kind of, there's a little bit more material here. I did that with this piece back here too. What I want to do is take the cutoff wheel and make it nice and straight to make it look good. That is a very much a TISM thing, dudes. It doesn't really matter. We'd be fine welding this surface, but I want to do that. I'm going to cut that thing. I'm going to hit it with a cutting wheel. We'll make it nice and straight. Make it look, you know, factory. Okay, I'm going to do that now, and maybe, yeah, no, this should be all fine. It's a little bit elevated right here, but that's okay. I got to get my hearing protection back. You also learned a lot doing it this way. Now that you know how to do it the other way. Yeah, exactly. So, Susan, what you say, some of it was welding. It's easier to get the parts or get same car, not much rusty on them. Yes, I know. I know that that's the right way to do things. I'm trying to learn. So I'm trying to brush up on welding skills. So some of the decisions to fix the car in the way that we did are a little bit unorthodox because I'm trying to learn. You know, like I wanted the seat time on the welder and the grinder. I know the proper way to restore one of these. The proper way is to just replace it, but I don't want to do that. All right, let's zap this thing, man. Okay, just a little bit more. Freehand, no guide rail? Yeah, it's fine, dude. Yeah, I indented it just a little bit there, but that's okay. fine. There we go. Good. Good. Perfect. That's fine. Once he finishes driving on the road, we'll get rusty again. Susan, I'll be honest. I don't know what you really want. What do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want? Like, what are you trying to say? I know. Replacing the frame rail is easier. I get it. I'm not sure what you want. Like, I agreed with you, and you're still disagreeing with me. I know. I get it. I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me. Like, what do you want? I don't get it. Like, what's the point you're trying to illustrate? I already said you were right. I don't get it. Yeah, I gotta bend this back piece in a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna coat the hell out of this thing with paint, like paint and primer and rust converter. This should be fine. This ain't going anywhere. This is all patched. It's really, really strong. It's dude. If that breaks, the freaking car has gotten into an accident. You know, God forbid. All right, I got it. There's still a little bit of a burr right there. Like I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Like, I already agreed. I said you were correct. The right way to do this would have been replacing the frame rails. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to patch them. And while it was a little bit more tedious, it's fine. This is perfectly acceptable fix here. You're like, look at this. This is strong. It ain't going nowhere. Killer. I'm actually super happy with this. It's pretty good. All right. Let me, let's get the steel it out. Actually, we got to clean it. Got to clean this sucker first. Let me get the brake clean. The brake clean? Where is my brake clean? Guys, have you seen my brake clean? Oh, there it is. I see it. It's in the spot where I put it. It's weird. That one's empty. Why do I put empty cans back on the shelf? What am I doing? Oh, I found it. It's over here. All right, so I'm just gonna get a rag, hit this thing with brake clean, just clean it off, get all the metal shavings out of it. I should probably vacuum in the frame rail channel too. You know what? I'll do that first. Hey Rhino, what's going on, man? It's pretty hot in these rhinos. Okie dokie. Can check chat real quick. The vehicle is over 50 years old and is worth it to do all the work. The engine didn't sound right last time. What the hell does the engine have to do with frame rails? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm just going to keep going and doing what I'm doing, okay? All right. I just don't, I mean, I don't get it. You know, the 318, you said the 318 isn't running right, but I'm not sure, you may have missed the part where I said I'm just trying to get it running so the car can move, so I can back it in, so I can do this. That's not the motor that's going to be in the car when it's done. I'm going to swap the motor. Like, so it's not that big of a deal. I will still fix the 318 because why not, right? But that's not what I was doing at the time. I needed the car to be able to move so I could back it in, because I don't feel like pushing this thing around. Like, I'm not, once again, I'm not 100% sure what that has to do with frame rails, but okay. What we've done here is stronger than the factory. Stronger. That is, it's backplated. It's way stronger than the original frame rail. And it will last, basically because I slathered a bunch of weld on this thing. It's gonna last. It's not gonna rust, especially if I coat it up with paint. So that argument's out the door. So once again, Susan, would the correct thing to do have been replace the frame rail? Yes. Yes. I was not confident in my ability to do that at the time. I didn't think I could do it right. But we've already fixed the frame rail. It's fine. The amount of time I put into this, it's fine. It's okay. It's not rusting. It's not rusting anymore, that's for sure. We cut out all of the rust. So, once again, I don't know what you're getting at other than, you know, oh, well, you got to do it right, boy. And, well, I don't necessarily disagree with that. That's not how it works in the real world all the time. This fix is perfectly fine. I am confident in this. I'm willing to drive this car 70 miles an hour down the highway with these frame rails. They're fine. Like, so once again, like, I don't know what you're getting at. Like, I'm agreeing with you, and you're still disagreeing with me. So that's the last thing I'm saying about it, okay? I have work to do. Let me clean this off now that we vacuumed everything out, and we'll go. All right, she's nice and clean, and the back of the frame rail, guys, I still got to do some work. We're gonna have to, I have to weld a tab onto the back of this, but that's, I mean, we'll still coat it and steel it. It should be fine. You look a little green, Kappa. You must be watching yesterday's VOD. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is just get the underside. There we go. Done. Cool. Hey, Surat, what's up? I got some of this steel on me. I gotta spray this upside down. Clean it. There we go. I hate that when you put your finger a little too forward and some of the paint gets on it. These matrix welding videos are neat. EJ and Kermit the Frog would get along. Do you guys want me to take the welding filter off now that we're not welding? Is that what you're trying to tell me, or like, is that what you're trying to say? Take the damn welding filter off? Because yeah, I'm not really understanding what you're putting down there, guy. You think that's air you're breathing now? Down, 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 down. Make it look bad. All right, so what I'll do now is we will get, what time is it? 1:04. Wait, it's not green? No. I'm just gonna grind some of the EDP off this, and we'll grind it off here, 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 and here, and we will get this part ready, hit it with Steel It, and then we'll cover BOLE. So first thing I gotta do is this, just get this here like that. Okay, that's one edge. Being a little stubborn. I think this sandpaper pad is starting to go, dudes. No, no, it's working. Rocket Lab is online. Oh, really? Damn. On screen. All right. Let me get the paint on this thing first, dudes. Yeah. Rocket Lab and Boley? Yep. Yeah, man. I got to drill the holes in this damn thing. That's the problem. And when I drill the holes, I'm going to have to paint it anyway. But you know what? We'll do that in a second. I'm going to put this in my paint booth. We'll hit it with some Steel It. And let's watch some rockets, baby. Oh, don't blow it into the fan. Cool. Good. All right, let's see what we got. So, going to take a quick pause in rocket or car activities to watch some rockets go off.
Constellation operator Hawkeye 360.
17 minutes on Electron there.
Is 5:10 a.m. with liftoff of our 67th Electron rocket, scheduled to take place on the dot at 5:20 a.m. local time. Or
I might have to do this a little bit of a weird way, guys. I might have to. Actually, you know what? It's gonna double play the sound. Did you hear the echo? That's no good. Can't do that. So let's we'll go in the office real quick. All right. Delay for BLE at T-minus 49. Dude, we're gonna be covering this stupid stuff all day. I'm never getting anything done. All right. I'm gonna go into the shop, or out of the shop. We're gonna go into the office. I don't like doing that with dirty hands, but I don't have a choice. FYI, if you turn the rattle can upside down, you can clear the nozzle so it won't clog up. I did that, Shy. I just did that a second ago. Thanks, man. But yeah, did you not see me do it? Maybe it was out of shot. All right. I will be back in a moment. I'm going to go into the One over there.
Okay. All right. So we might be here for a bit. So between the Electron mission and the BOLEs. So I'm actually going to stop the YouTube VOD and we will label this as 29.1. Save that VOD out with that title. We'll jog the YouTube and I'll switch over for Rocket Lab and BOLE coverage. We'll key it in as Space and Rocket Review for the day, part 1, because we got a lot of rocket stuff going on. So, stand by for a momentary loss of signal on the YouTube side of things. I will be back momentarily.